We move to a cash generating unit. A cash generating unit, or a CGU in short, is defined as the smallest identifiable group of assets that generates cash inflows that are largely independent of the cash inflows from other assets or group of assets. When you have this CGU, and the CGU is impaired, how do we allocate this impairment? The general rule for allocating impairment in a CGU is to first allocate impairment towards goodwill, which is in the CGU. Then secondly, you allocate the impairment loss to the other assets on a pro rata basis based on their carrying amount. But in allocating this goodwill to the other assets, you have to ensure that the carrying amount of the assets cannot be reduced to below the higher of its recoverable amount and zero. Okay? If there is excess impairment loss, then you have to take it to the other assets which are remaining on a pro rata basis. Now, this general rule you are given, but for exam purposes, the examiner tends to bring goodwill is always included, then also another asset will be identified as being impaired by a certain amount. So that asset which has been identified in the question as being impaired, before you do the pro rata basis, you have to allocate the impairment to that particular asset. Then the remainder will now be allocated on a pro rata basis with the exclusion of that one which you already identified in the allocated impairment loss. After impairment, what happens? The asset will now be depreciated or adjusted over its remaining useful life.